Welcome to Pause and Play. I'm Jessica. This is your pocket companion, a place to pause, to play, and to find your way back home to yourself. You don't have to do anything, just be here. Guidepost 25. We belong to each other. Healing through connection, rooted in compassion, held by community. We were never meant to do life alone. We're wired to belong, to witness, and to be witnessed. Place both hands over your heart, close your eyes, and take a few slow, intentional breaths. Imagine someone you love deeply standing beside you. Feel their presence. Whisper, I am not alone. We belong to each other. And let that truth settle in your body. We belong to each other. No matter how different our stories, we're made of the same stardust. Built for connection, designed for interdependence. Belonging isn't about fitting in, it's about being seen and loved as we are. In a world that rewards independence and isolation, choosing to connect is a radical act. Belonging doesn't mean we always agree. It means we stay, we see, we soften. This mantra invites us to remember that healing happens in relationship, that community is medicine, that shared humanity is stronger than shame, that you don't have to carry it alone. You were never meant to. Personal story. When Hurricane Ida hit, it changed everything. We had just moved into our next chapter home, a space that felt like a fresh start after a year of transition, divorce, and survival mode. I had finally unpacked the last of the boxes. The children's rooms were the first to get done. It felt like we could finally exhale. And then the floodwaters came. In a matter of hours, our home was unlivable. Nearly everything we had worked so hard to hold on to. Family photos, keepsakes, toys, books, art supplies, furniture was gone. The sanctuary we were building had been washed away. We moved into a hotel. What we thought would be a few days turned into over 2 years. It was humbling, to say the least, a little devastating, a little disorienting. But in those raw, stripped bare moments, something remarkable happened. People showed up. Old friends drove in from over an hour away. Family crossed state lines. Strangers, neighbors we hadn't met yet knocked the hotel door with casseroles and gift cards and armfuls of clothing, and some helped us clean. Others simply sat with us in the grief. I remember standing barefoot in our muddy, ruined house trying to salvage what I could. I looked around and felt the weight of what had been lost. But alongside the ache, there was something else. A swelling in my chest. Gratitude, reverence. I was being held in a way I had never allowed myself to be held before. For someone who once believed that she had to do everything alone, this experience cracked me open. I had spent years equating strength with self-sufficiency. I wore independence like armor. I was terrified of being a burden to others. But the flood took that story away. And in its place, it gave me something deeper. Belonging. It taught me that asking for help is not a weakness. It's an act of trust. And receiving love without earning it is its own kind of surrender. And being part of a community means learning to show up and to be seen, not just in strength, but also in need. Some days we're the ones who bring the soup. Some days we're the ones who need it. Both are holy. Both are human. We're not meant to carry life alone. We're not here to prove we can do it all. We're here to hold each other, to witness each other, to remind one another, you still belong. In allowing myself to be held, I began to heal. And I carry that lesson with me every day now. We belong to each other. Always have, always will. Science meets soul. Human connection is essential for nervous system regulation, co-regulation. Being in the presence of a calm and attuned person can help us return to safety and reduce stress hormones like cortisol. Isolation increases risk for anxiety, depression, and dysregulation. Belonging isn't just emotional, it's physiological. We heal in safe, reciprocal relationships. We regulate together. Shame thrives in silence. Fear grows in isolation. But when we connect, really connect, we begin to dissolve both. Belonging reminds us that we are not burdens, we are needed, seen, and held, and that our presence matters deeply. We rise by lifting each other. Try this. Daily practices. Reach out to someone just to say, I'm thinking about you. Ask a loved one how they're really doing and listen deeply. Share something vulnerable with someone you trust. Write a note of appreciation to a teacher, mentor, or friend. Sit in a public space and smile at strangers. Make eye contact when speaking and listening. Offer help to someone, even something small. Reflect on how you've been supported in your own life. Let someone show up for you today. Tell someone they belong in your life. Notice your assumptions. Make space for nuance. Learn someone's story without interrupting or judging. And offer yourself the same compassion you give others. Engage in community care like mutual aid or volunteering or simply listening. Begin one conversation a day with real presence. Pause prompts. When have I felt most seen? Who makes me feel safe and accepted? Where do I feel like I don't belong, and why? What does true connection feel like in my body? How do I show up for others? What gets in the way of connection for me? What does my nervous system need in a relationship? How do I receive love and support? When do I isolate? And what helps me reconnect? What are my core belonging wounds? What kind of community am I craving? What would it look like to be myself and be seen? What stories am I ready to release about being too much or not enough? Who might be longing for connection too? How can I practice my relational courage? Belonging begins with allowing ourselves to be real, to be held, to let others meet us in our truth. The pause gives us a moment to reach out instead of retreating, to soften instead of hardening, to choose connection. You are not meant to do this alone. None of us are. Play prompts. Create a collage of your belonging circle. Doodle handprints representing people who've held you. Make a playlist of songs that make you feel connected. Write a poem titled You Belong. Draw yourself held in a net of support. Paint with someone. Share a canvas. Play a cooperative game with others. Host a story swap. Share and listen. Create a friendship altar with shared symbols. Record a voice note telling someone they matter. Make a group mural or collage. Write letters to your future or past versions of yourself. Draw a tree with branches for each supportive relationship. Start a tradition of sharing one true thing in your family or circle. Create connection cards with prompts or affirmations to share. Connection doesn't have to be serious. It can be silly, spontaneous, sacred. When we play together, we let our guard down. We build trust. We invite belonging. Play reminds us we're not alone and never have been. Integration. Build a regular check-in ritual with a friend. Join or create a small circle, virtual or in person, for support. Reflect on your role in community. How do you contribute? Notice moments of micro connection like eye contact, shared laughter, gestures. Practice receiving compliments, help, kindness. Keep a belonging journal and track moments you felt connected. Practice relational repair when conflict arises. Send small reminders of love and presence like notes and gifts and calls. Host connection rituals like story night or gratitude circle. Build rituals around gathering, meals, walks, celebrations. Include people who often feel left out. Let others witness your messy, honest self. Practice mutual care. Let it go both ways. Remember that community is built, not found. Make belonging a shared responsibility. Belonging doesn't just happen, it's cultivated. It begins when we let ourselves be seen, when we reach out instead of in, when we choose presence over perfection. We belong to each other and we're better for it. Art therapy prompts. Draw a visual map of your support system. Collage your ideal community. Create a friendship flag or a shared crest. Paint a circle and fill it with words of belonging. Sculpt two hands reaching for each other. Illustrate a moment when you felt held. Draw yourself connected to others with golden threads. Make an art piece using shared objects, photos, letters. Paint what loneliness feels like, and then paint what eases it. Design a belonging beacon to guide others in. Make a visual love letter to your chosen family. Create shared art with someone else. Trace your silhouette and fill it with names of those who love you. Build a collage altar to connection. Use mixed media to express interdependence. Space for personal exploration. Journal prompt. Where in my life do I feel most like I belong? Doodle prompt. Draw yourself held in community. Collage prompt. Gather images of trust, safety, and joy. I belong. I am held. We need each other. This affirmation dissolves the myth of separation. It reminds you that your story matters and that you're part of something larger. You are not alone. You never were. We don't think ourselves into new ways of being. We live ourselves into new ways of thinking. Richard Rohr. Final thought. Connection is the thread that weaves us back together. Belonging doesn't ask you to be perfect, it asks you to be present. Let yourself be seen, let others in. We heal together. Community invitation. Where do you feel most at home? In yourself or in connection? What helps you feel like you belong? Share your reflections and let's hold space for one another together. Before you go, I want you to recognize what you just did. You showed up, you stayed, you allowed yourself to consider that you are not meant to do this life alone. Today we practiced belonging, and in doing that you softened the illusion of separation. You loved yourself by letting yourself be human. And every time you do that, your nervous system learns that connection is not something you have to earn. It's something you're built for. You're leaving this episode differently than when you arrived, because now there's a part of you that feels less alone. And I want you to know, I see you. Carry this with you. You belong here. And I'll meet you here again soon. Pause and play.